Airlines don't exactly hide senior travel benefits, but they don't spotlight them either. If you're 65 or older, there are accommodations and potential advantages available. Some are federally required. Others depend on airline policy, staff discretion, or availability. The difference between a stressful airport experience and a smooth one often comes down to one thing. You have to ask, correctly, politely, and realistically. Let's go step by step and separate what's guaranteed, what's possible, and what depends on circumstances. 1. Complimentary wheelchair and mobility assistance, legally protected. This is the most powerful and most misunderstood benefit. Under the U.S. Air Carrier Access Act, airlines are required to provide mobility assistance to passengers with disabilities or mobility limitations. That includes temporary or age-related mobility issues. You do not have to be unable to walk. If you experience difficulty walking long terminal distances, joint pain, arthritis, or balance issues, fatigue that worsens with long airport walks, shortness of breath, a recent injury, trouble carrying bags, you qualify to request assistance. What you may receive: wheelchair escort from curb to gate, assistance through security screening, transportation between gates during connections, early boarding help, storing carry-ons, escort upon arrival. You can request this during booking through the airline's website. By calling customer service at the airport, though advance notice is better. Important ethical note: this is intended for passengers who genuinely have mobility limitations. It is not meant as a shortcut to skip lines if you are fully mobile and simply want convenience. Airports are large, physically demanding environments. If walking 1 to 2 miles inside a terminal would strain you, assistance is absolutely appropriate. 2. Security screening modifications for age 75 plus. The Transportation Security Administration provides modified screening for passengers aged 75 and older. This is official policy. What it may include: keeping shoes on, keeping light jackets on, modified pat-down procedures if necessary, additional assistance if requested. This is not the same as TSA pre-check. You do not automatically use pre-check lanes unless your boarding pass indicates it. However, screening may be adjusted to make the process less physically demanding. If you are 75 plus, politely informing the officer of your age ensures you receive any applicable consideration. Example: I'm 76. Is there modified screening available for my age group? No entitlement, just clarity. 3. Senior fares, limited, route-specific, and often hidden. This is where expectations must be realistic. Some airlines occasionally offer senior fares, but they are not always cheaper. They are not available on all routes. They may only be accessible by phone. For example, American Airlines has historically offered limited senior discounts on select routes. United Airlines sometimes offers senior fares depending on origin and destination. Southwest Airlines previously had senior fares, though policies evolve over time. Here's the reality: promotional sales fares are often cheaper than senior fares. The smart strategy: check online prices first, then call and ask, are there any senior fares available for passengers 65 plus on this route? If the senior rate is higher, book the regular fare instead. This is not a guaranteed savings category. It's a check and compare opportunity. 4. Pre-boarding and extra time boarding. This is one of the most useful benefits for older travelers. Airlines allow passengers who need extra time or assistance to pre-board. That includes age-related mobility concerns. You do not need to provide medical documentation. You do not need to disclose private details. A simple statement works: I may need a little extra time boarding due to mobility considerations. Benefits: more time to get settled, less crowd pressure, easier overhead bin access, reduced fall risk in crowded aisles. This is especially helpful if you use a cane, you move more slowly, you need time adjusting into your seat. It's not about status, it's about safety and comfort. 5. Seat accommodation requests, not upgrades but comfort consideration. Let's be very clear. Free upgrades to business class are extremely rare and not a senior entitlement. However, seat adjustments sometimes happen when available. If you have back discomfort, Knee stiffness. Circulation concerns, frequent restroom needs. You can politely ask at check-in or the gate, "I have some knee discomfort. If there's an aisle seat available, I'd really appreciate it." You are not asking for luxury. You are asking for reasonable accommodation. Gate agents have limited flexibility. Being calm and respectful dramatically improves your chances. 6. Medical equipment and baggage exceptions. This is a significant but legitimate benefit. Medical assistive devices do not count against carry-on limits. Examples: CPAP machines, mobility aids, canes walkers, portable oxygen, FAA-approved types, medication cooling bags. Airlines are required to accommodate necessary medical devices. If checking bags, some airlines waive baggage fees for active military veterans, varies by airline. Certain medical travel situations, policies differ by carrier. Always check the airline's website in advance. 7. Assistance during delays or disruptions. When flights are delayed or canceled, older passengers with mobility or medical concerns may receive additional assistance. This may include help with rebooking escort between terminals, hotel, or meal vouchers, depending on the cause of delay. Quieter waiting areas when available. Lounge access is typically reserved for business/first class elite status membership programs. It is not a general senior benefit. However, in special circumstances involving medical needs, airlines sometimes provide temporary accommodation solutions on a case-by-case basis. The key phrase, "I have medical considerations and wanted to ask what assistance options might be available during this delay." Why airlines don't advertise? This, because most of these are regulatory compliance measures, case-by-case accommodations operationally dependent. If every passenger claimed mobility assistance without need, airports would collapse under demand. That's why these are request-based systems. The master approach: calm, clear, specific. The most effective script isn't demanding, it's informative. Example: "Hi, I'm 68 and traveling today. I have some mobility considerations and wanted to check what assistance might be available." That single sentence opens the door to wheelchair service, pre-boarding, seating, flexibility, escort. Help airline staff respond far better to calm clarity than to entitlement. Your pre-flight action plan. Before booking, compare fares online, check baggage policies. During booking, request mobility assistance if genuinely needed 24 hours before flight. Confirm assistance request. Ask about seating options if necessary. At the airport, arrive early. Politely communicate needs. During delays, mention mobility or medical concerns. Early final reality check. These are accommodations, not secret luxury perks. They exist to make air travel safer and more accessible for older adults who genuinely need support. When used properly, they can reduce physical strain, lower stress, prevent falls, improve overall travel experience. Flying in your late 60s, 70s, or 80s doesn't have to feel exhausting. It just requires knowledge and respectful communication. Now I'm curious,